What's up, everybody? How you doing? We're here for another episode of Chat and Draw. We are in season not 1, not 2, but 3 of Chat and Draw. And you're probably like, well, what's Chat and Draw, buddy? And who are you? Those are great questions, and I can easily answer both of them. Chat and Draw is a show where I chat and I draw with an awesome person on the other side of the table with me. The interweb table, as they will be streaming live on the show and we discuss their character. Sometimes I do fan episodes. Sometimes I just chat with myself as I try not to cough and choke. Chat with myself while I'm working on Hotshot or anything I'm doing for my Patreon page. Now, we're streaming live right now on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. And you can follow all of my social media and find me on all of them as Most Epic Art. Now, who is Most Epic Art? Well, it's this guy right here. 2 thumbs pointing at this guy. I just happen to be the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group. I'm the founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of the good, the bad, and the nerdy, the most enthusiastic person in comics. Most Epic Art, most enthusiastic person in comics. There's a hand. Sometimes going by the alias of Super Mad Brother Mike Watson, your host today and every day on these episodes of Chat and Draw. And I'm super, super excited. Well, I'm excited every time we do the show. I'm pretty excited. I get charged up. I look forward to these Chat and Draw episodes. Number 1, because I'm going to be talking to somebody awesome. Number 2, I'm going to be talking about somebody's awesome character. Number 3, I get to challenge myself on the spot, live, in here, in the arena, in the battle room, on the paper, or the digital paper, with some art. Let's see what I can do and what I cannot do. But before we go on there, further on in, make sure you give me a subscribe because I think you're going to like this video because I do all this type of stuff all of the time. All the time. And I bring my friends on and we talk. I bring my colleagues on and we talk it up. And I like to hear your opinions. And we have these things called positive arguments. They're great discussions. You would like it. I'm sure you would. So we're going to bring up our guest now. We're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get right into it.
Here comes a new challenger.
Yes! In the fight pose, man. You got to get in the fight pose. What it is.
I'm a little out of shape, though. I'm a little out of shape. It's been quarantine fat,
Hey, that quarantine ain't no joke. It ain't no joke.
Seriously.
It ain't nothing to play with. So how you been doing, man?
I've been all right. I'm a little tired, getting the whole daddy thing and artwork going on as much as I can. But, I'm still alive. I'm healthy. I'm not COVID anything, so I'm all right.
Yeah, it's about the same over here, man. About the same exact situation over here. And now, you know what I forgot? Dang it, I forgot to copy it from your email, man. You mind pasting it in the private chat, the link to your Kickstarter? I forgot to grab that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are talking about your Kickstarter. You got a Kickstarter going on right now. What's up, Haley? Forewarning, Haley, we will be talking about a Kickstarter. I know you're a fan of comic books. You might have another one here that you're gonna have to get. Maybe, I don't know.
I hope so.
Let's get the link up here. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Isn't technology awesome?
It's amazing. It allows me to talk to you over the entire United States there.
The entirety of it.
Oh.
There's the Kickstarter link posted on. There we go. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. All posted at the same time. That's his link. Please go out there. Go check that out. It's an awesome Kickstarter. I've already made my pledge on there. I am looking very much forward to getting this and seeing what this is about. I found out about this character, I think all the way back in season 1 of Chat and Draw.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're on the first cover. You're on the first cover for the art book.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I'm up to over 60 episodes on this show.
Very nice. That's a highlight. So you need to appreciate that.
I do, and I'm trying to think because as quick as these episodes go, the 100th episode is coming up quick, and I am trying to think very quickly what are we gonna do to pop the cork off on that one. But I got to draw your character on the first season. She is on the cover that is going to be dropping for the Chat and Draw Volume 1 book, which is done. We released a WHIP edition, and for those of you that don't know about the acronyms, work in progress, we have a 50-page giant book coming for you for the Chat and Draw, like the official stuff. Wow. But the character was super awesome to draw, man. Like I didn't know who you were going to have me draw today. You sent it to me via email, and I will say I'm looking forward to drawing this guy, but I did want to draw XOB again.
I get it. Everybody says Kyrun. I know about your other characters, but Saw's still my favorite. The design on her is so unique and it stands out and it pops. So I get it. I sometimes want to just go and draw her myself, but I want to get better artists to really highlight what she can do. I'm okay, but I'm not at your level yet.
Hey man, it's all right, man. Everybody is all one and the same here. It's all about comics. And I appreciate the compliment. So the character is dope. I want to see this character in motion. I know you actually put out a little animated thing of her. Didn't I see that?
Yeah, actually there was a 1 minute clip I got animated of really all my characters. And I can't pronounce his first name, so but it's Jazeel, I think. But I found him through Facebook and I was like, dude, how much would it cost? He told me. I went and sold one of my kids and got the money. And then I paid him and he killed it. Like he did such a great job just animating all my characters. Xob is in there. There's Malik from my first series, Shaman's Destiny. There's all my characters from Ruby from Planet Oz. And I was like, this is dope. And then he put all the villains for each of those characters' stories in there. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. This is amazing. And I saw my YouTube channel, which this I think is the only thing on my YouTube channel right now. But I love it. And I'm hoping one day things blow up and I can maybe have like a Saw TV series, cartoon. Who knows?
Yeah, man, that would be great because you got some real Illmatic characters, and I just really want to see them in motion, very much so, and see how that plays out. Because while Xob is fun to draw, the hair was with the electricity stuff was hard to navigate. So I would love to see your interpretation, how you feel that's actually defined.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was weird because when I first drew it, everybody seems to draw it more fire-like than electricity, which I get it. And because everybody likes that free-flowing hair for a woman, and I get it, but I like that static look of the electricity coming off her head. The two people I've seen draw it really good are Erwin Ropa, who's the current artist for issue 3. That's the Kickstarter for. And then I got I can't remember his name now. Edwin Nguyen. He did Skull Kickers for Image Comics. Oh, a couple of things for Marvel, and he's doing a lot of the Street Fighter stuff for Udon right now. And
okay,
I had him to commission do it, and he did a really great job with the hair and the axe and everything.
Danny J. Quick's in the building. What's up, man? How you doing? Oh, before I forget, let me do this because I got to make sure to do that. Because without these people, I would not have a Patreon. Shout out to Andrew Duggan, Haley Dennis, Bradley Arney, Tom Kelly, and Unlikely Hero Studios for being my Patreon members. Andrew Duggan will be on this season for the first ever Patreon fan episode that I'll be doing, the first official one. I did a couple of them before just to show people what they was like, and Andrew joined the Patreon page, so he will be getting one of those in September.
Nice. It's always good to have fans that can support you, you know?
Oh, yeah. What are we without fans?
Exactly. Oh, wow. Oh, I can actually see the comments. I didn't even notice that. I had it stuck on the private chat.
Yeah, man. We want you to engage with them because sometimes I get swept up into this art, man.
No, I get it.
Trying to make this piece happen. So sometimes you might have to take the wheel.
Thank you, Danny, for the compliment there. Eric, much love to you also. And Katrina, you can't see my bamboo in the background. It's a little hidden, but it's doing all right.
Don't. Trying to make sure. Again, we're streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at the same dang time here. All in good fun, having a great time. Now I'm about to. Now, the anomaly is, how do I go to work with this character?
Yeah, I really want to see what you do with this and you're doing the second version of him. Because if anybody's read issue 1 and 2, you see that he goes to a metamorphosis of such. But I really want to see what you're going to do with this.
Yeah, because he had a more, I want to say, regal look in the other issues. He was a fan of clothes.
It's funny because my favorite characters, at least villain-wise, are Thanos and Darkseid from DC Comics and Marvel Comics. So when I was creating the character for Saw, I was like, I want that type of regal, big, buff, but very intellectual character, that cold and cunning look. And I created a character, and I thought I had a unique design, and I started taking it out to events, and people were looking at it like, oh, wow, this is cool. What is that like? Why is she battling Thanos? And I got that over and over again. I was like, well, no, Thanos doesn't have 4 eyes and long red hair. And they're like, oh, yeah, but it's Thanos, right? Because this was like right after Infinity War came out and last year with Endgame. So everybody had Thanos on their mind. And I was like, well, I guess, yeah, I mean, Thanos is definitely an influence, but it's not Thanos. So when I started writing issue 2, I was like, well, maybe I should change up his look a little bit and give him more of a distinct look and really play off the Lord Eklips name and that darkness name that he has. Because the first rendition, he was very bright with his bright blues and purples. And then I was like, let me really play off the name Eklips and do more of a dark colors, the blacks and the blues and things like that, and make him a little bit more intimidating and terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Haley's asking, so who is am I pronouncing it right? Because I always hit it with the XOB. So is it Xob?
No, it's actually Saw. Like I saw you running, or I saw you over there. Yeah, the name is a Hmong name. If you don't know who Hmong people are, they are people from Southeast Asia, Laos, Laotian people. And the pronunciation is a deity that they have for their people. My character is a play on that, where the entity goes from person to person and imbues each person with their powers. Usually the person is supposed to protect the Hmong people from threats and things like that. But the current person, which her name is Tracy, she starts to change that tradition and says, you know, I'm going to use these powers and do good for all of mankind, not just certain people. And she becomes her own superhero in a way. Right. And then with this character, your drawing is Lord Eklips. And if you've read issue 2, there's a history between Lord Eklips and a wielder of the Xob power from a couple of years ago, or actually hundreds of years ago. And he has a little bit of a vendetta now against the current Xob or anybody that wields Xob, and he wants to get his revenge on that.
All right. So it don't matter who it is. He pissed.
Yeah, because for him, it's just more of like, hey, I don't care. You have the power. So even though you aren't the person, it's now your responsibility. That responsibility gets passed on to whoever's next up. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to get my revenge, because he gets trapped in what's called a dark dimension for 1,000 years or so. So he's been there stewing and thinking and wanting to do trying to find a way to finally get that revenge and take over the world.
So if you're responsible enough to carry this moniker and go do all these heroics, if you're responsible to take all the bad that come with it.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's just like any, law enforcement or military. If you're going to go out there and say that you are part of this regime, whatever, then you take all the good that comes with the bad. I like how you got that big jaw coming out. It's very Venom-like like that. That's
what I was kind of getting. So I figured, obviously we haven't seen the number 3 issue to see that whole, I haven't seen that new form. So I just figured this is just kind of more of like, this form is more rage, more anger, more passion. And I figured that if he's in this form, he's just, it's like, he don't give a damn no more. Like, oh no, I'm any means necessary. If I've got to deform my body to whatever I need to extract what I need to get, then that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, in this form, he's no longer cool and calculated. He's just primal. He's all rage, and he's able to control it and think when he needs to, but he's just vicious. And he's usually not the hands-on type of guy. He has minions that he can control. He has his right-hand man. But when he's in this form, in this natural form, he wants to just destroy everything any way possible.
Right. And that's kind of what I figured. Like, whatever's clever, let's get it.
That's why I hated doing this last time, because I get so drawn into watching you, I forget to talk. Because I'm an artist at heart. I started making comics and wanting to be an artist. I grew up watching like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld and imitating all them. And I'm always fascinated watching other people draw my characters. I got to remember, I got to talk. I got to talk about my characters and my Kickstarter if possible, to, get people interested. But I get drawn in watching masters at times,
Well, here, let's go ahead and talk about your Kickstarter. What's some of the rewards you got going on there right now?
Well, we got a few awards. I mean, first off, anybody that pledges towards the Kickstarter at the $3 level or above, you're not going to get just Saw issue 3. You're getting 2 other comics along with that. So you're going to get digital copies of Belial #1, which is a comedy about a Belial who is the original ruler of hell. And you're going to get Acolyte from Concrete Comics #1. So no matter what, if you're getting either a digital reward or a physical reward, you're getting at least 3 books with this. Along with that, every physical copy gets a chibi button that I'm hand making at home. I have a little button presser that I got.
Okay.
I'm printing those out and making them by hand. So you're going to get my blood, sweat, and tears in each pin or each button that you get.
Blood, sweat, and tears, he says, everybody.
There's also there's a print that was done by Brian Silveria, which if you don't know who he is, he does an amazing comic called Bun, which is like this really high fantasy comic, but he's an exceptional artist. And he did this print where it has Saw in the middle, and she's basically facing off against other lightning gods from mythology. There's Zeus, there's Thor, there's Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
I saw that.
Yes. And that looked really dope. I had the idea. I was like, well, I don't want people to just think that this is just a generic cop off of Thor or whatever. I want them to see, hey, there are other lightning gods that we know of, and she's one of them now. I want her basically to be part of that pantheon, and at the same time wanted it to be a little bit creepy. And if you've ever seen Brian's work, he does a very high fantasy, creepy style, and it's really cool. Let me see what else we have. Now we do also have the early bird special, which is going on for another 5 days. If you happen to get that, you get issue 3, but you get a variant cover Saw Lightning Wielder issue 3, which is going to be done by Timothy Green. If you don't know Timothy Green, he has done work for Marvel. He did Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's done Eon Flux from Dark Horse. He's done some work for DC Comics. Like he's an actual pro that's been in the comics for like 20 years, I think it is. So he did a variant cover of Lord Eklips versus Saw, which is really cool. You'll also get a digital comics indie bundle. So you get 5 other indie comics. There's Stellar Odyssey #1, Ink #1, Super Heresies, Blister, and Ichabod Jones. So if you get the early bird special, you're basically getting 8 comics for 1 pledge, along with the variant cover and the print. And like I said, the button. There are t-shirts. There was a t-shirt that got designed by David Jackson. He does a chibi print.
Yeah, David Jackson.
Which David Jackson is everywhere. He was actually the original artist for issues 1 and 2. But it seems like he's constantly busy with doing so much work. I was like, you know what? I don't want to bother him. So I had to go out and find somebody else. But I still want to work with David. So every once in a while when he has some downtime, I'll ask him to do some chibi stuff or some quick 1-page stuff. Like I did was a thing with Sean and Danny, which was a better movie. I had David do that. I had David do that one for me. Let me see what else we got. We also have custom pops. I have a nice friend. Her name is Martha Schwartz, and she actually does pops on the side along with what she makes comics. And she's doing custom Saw pops for anybody that happens to take that one. And we also have rewards for retailers. So if you have your own shop, it doesn't have to be a comic book shop too. You can get what's up, man. Yeah, you can get 5 copies of Saw issue 3, or if you've never gotten Saw before and you want to try it out, you can get all 3 issues and get 5 copies of each. So I wanted to give as many options as far as rewards as possible and make it a little bit unique. And hopefully I did that. I mean, it seems like it's done pretty well. We got it's only been a week so far. We're over 80% funded, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
Oh God, yes. Only a week? Yeah, you're doing great. I think so.
Thank you. Yeah, we got 3 more weeks to go, and I only need like $500. So,
yeah, I saw the numbers on it. You know how close you were, but it just sounds so much better when you say a percentage. Because like
Yeah.
you took the time to do the math.
Yeah. Well, Kickstarter has this nice feature. It gives you a percentage, breaks it down automatically for you. So,
Hey, don't tell nobody that, man. They don't need to know all that. They don't
that's,
need to know all
that's
that.
behind the scenes.
That's behind the scenes, baby.
Okay, my bad. My bad. I'm letting out all the secrets right now. So yeah, I'm smart like that. I just figured out on my head. It's 82% right now.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly where I was going with it.
No, but it's cool because by far this is the best starting I've had for a Kickstarter, and I've done 5 Kickstarters so far, and nothing has started like this one did. I was amazed at the first week at how much traffic I got and how many people were willing to pledge, and it was cool because it wasn't just returning people; it was new people that were saying, "I'm going to get all 3 issues," or "I'm just going to get issue 1," or what have you. And that's actually cool to get new customers that are seeing it and wanting to really try it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, hopefully those people maybe tell other people, and then who knows, maybe by the end of this week, it will be funded. You never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. You might get funded tonight.
Well, that would be nice. I mean, are you saying you're going to drop a pledge right now and just get that 18% knocked off for me?
Well, I've already put down what I could put down.
I know, but I mean, you can just increase your pledge.
I wish I could, brother. It's a delicate balancing game I'm trying to play. There's too many of y'all out here because dang near everybody that's been on the show that's had a Kickstarter I've pledged to.
No, I agree. I mean, especially when the pandemic really started to settle off and everybody started to launch their Kickstarters, there was a lot of great Kickstarters out there.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have the money right now to pledge to everything I wanted, but I got a few in there. I had to get that Isnana that came out today. That's priority number 1. That's always priority number 1.
Yeah, I had to jump on that too. I tried to be the first one on there, and Ramel beat me. I mean, literally, man, my internet was running fine all day today, and I saw and Greg was doing a countdown, and I kept refreshing his page, and as soon as I typed on this post, "Where the hell is your thing at, Greg?" I don't see it. It's because I was in the middle of a refresh. It refreshed over. I was like, "Oh shoot, there it goes!" And I clicked, and all of a sudden, my internet froze. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then it went through, and it said no backers. I didn't care what I pledged for. I just pledged. I just hit the pledge button. I was like, "I'll adjust it later," and then it froze again. And this time, it stayed frozen. Finally went through, and I come back. I'm the 5th one pledged. I was like, "Dang it! I wanted to steal it from Ramel so bad."
Oh man. See, what you should have done is actually gotten in the first 5 of my Kickstarter, because the first 5 physical backers got a free print along with everything else that they normally get. So should have looked at my countdown.
I didn't even know, brother.
I know. And
I just started getting into this race for the first because Ramel is apparently the champ at hitting people's Kickstarters first.
Yeah, he took that crown from me. I'm just saying.
Oh, he took it from you.
That used to be me, but then I had so many people on my internet right now. I got the same issues you got. So, wait, Danny got a question. Did you say it's a demon possession? Danny, to answer your question, it is a little bit of possession. It's not a demon. It is an actual god, but it is a possession that once Saw uses up their host, they do move on to the next person that they find worthy of it in a way. So it is a little bit of possession. And it is not a possession that the host gets to actually choose. They are basically just chosen, and they have to do it, or I can't say too much because that's a little bit down the line, but it is not a choice that they actually get. It's basically given to them.
Oh, look at Danny J. Quick trying to get you to spill the beans, man. He's trying to get you to spoiler alerts.
Danny be tricking me sometimes.
Hey, that's how he works. He makes casual conversation and nothing but spoilers.
And he tried to get me. Well, his daughter tried to hustle me out some money yesterday, talking about she can draw me a Saw picture for $20. I was like, $20? How much can I give just for one eyeball? You know?
Hey, the youth is out here, man.
No, I'm willing to support the youth if I can, because I mean, I make comics. I'm not the dark and gritty guy most of the time. I really want to make comics for adults, but also for kids. So most of my comics are going to be very action oriented and not have a lot of like dismemberment or blood or anything like that. It's going to be really old school comics in a way but more of a modern vibe to it. So if I can help support a kid and it gets them interested into drawing or writing or whatever, I'm gonna do it if I can.
Right. Absolutely.
She's got a little bit of a Slimer from Ghostbuster head there.
Yeah, I'm looking at his shoulders right now and his head and how they're connecting. I kind of just figured some of these muscles in his neck and I forgot I think these aren't deptoids. What is that?
And then the traps right there?
Yeah, I kind of feel like they'd be merged a little bit together. So I'm just, I'm seeing where I can get with it.
Okay. I mean, it's looking good either way. But I do like that. I like that. So now one of the things that I guess people really like about this design is that he's so scary looking, well, more feral looking. And I think you're really pulling off on there. So I like that.
Well, thank you. I want, like if he's at this stage and you're seeing this dude, I want you to shit your pants.
Yeah.
Like I want you to be like, oh, I don't even want to fight this thing. Like, like it was cool throwing hands with you before, but like at this stage now, I don't know what you're capable of.
Yeah, when I was first drawing him and creating him, I was focusing a lot on his minions also, because he has these army of, like, I call them scavengers, but they're these little dog-like creatures, and what they do is they steal the souls of people in their sleep. And I got that actually from my wife's culture, because in their culture they have this thing where if you're, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you're asleep, but you sort of wake up and you can't move. You're sort of like paralyzed.
Yeah,
so
I've experienced that.
They have that a saying basically, or it's a thought of what it is, and what it is for them, it's a spirit sort of pressing down on you, holding you there, and that's why you can't move anything. So when I was coming up with Lord Eklips here, I was like, well, I don't want it just him. I want to have something that he can, because I'm from the 80s, so you have like Skeletor and Megatron and all these cool villains who had minions along with him doing all their little things for him. So I was like, I want some minions that can do this for him. And I was like, let's do that. There's still these minions on there. And when she was telling me the story about people being held down in their sleep, I was like, okay, that's gonna be the premise of the first arc, is that they're stealing people's essences while they sleep, and at the same time stealing for him to escape his entrapment. Digitals. Is there a way to add digitals of 1 and 2 to Labor Special? Silent Dreamer 26. You know what? If you want to, because I did not add that, because there is a feature that Kickstarter, I guess, is putting into adding extra features at the end of your Kickstarter, and I was trying to implement that, but I couldn't get it to work. But Silent Dreamer 26, if you want to do that, if you want to do it over a special, you could just add $6 to your pledge, and then send me a note saying this is the add-on to digital rewards for issues 1 and 2, and I will add that into your bundle.
Look at that! Look at that! Special deals being made live right here on the show.
I'm trying to, be as nice and generous as I can, because, every little bit helps nowadays.
It does. It does.
And it just pushes us that much closer to the goal, which Bradley is. Thank you so much. Somebody named Bradley just pledged, so I appreciate that support there. I mean, when you're this close to the goal, every dollar is going to help. There's Old English for that. See, and there you go. So Silent Dreamer said there is an Old English lore that it's an old hag sitting on your chest. So, and that's the thing. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other mythologies out there as far as what that is. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm an atheist myself. My wife is very religious. So she gives me like all these things from her culture, but I don't know what it is. But it's freaky. I've had it happen to me. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? I can't move.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I just sit there and bear down and grit it until it's over. And I just hope I'm not in an uncomfortable position when it happens, man. It effing sucks.
Well, I just hope I'm never having to go to the bathroom when that happens. I don't need to be peeing in the bed.
Ah!
I'm too old to be doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I'm too old, but not old enough where I need to be worrying about wearing diapers yet. That's just. All right. Whoa. We just jumped up huge.
Huh?
Haley, thank you. I appreciate that. Sleep paralysis is terrifying. I agree. It is the worst thing when you're asleep. Oh, man. So we are now at 84%. Oh, this is
nice.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Haley and Bradley, thank you guys. I appreciate the support. And this, I feel bad because now I'm trying to figure out the last time I was on here, how many comments I didn't see.
Well, I'm sure I got to them while we were on there.
And I'm doing the best I can since you're killing it right there.
I'm trying to. Oh, that's Brad. Yo, yeah. I was saying the other day, or Sean was saying the other day, and I agree with him. We all have to do something special for Brad because Brad is always like support. I might do a special episode just for Brad for all the support that he does.
Okay. So Brad's the man is what you're telling me.
Oh, yeah. Brad and Haley are, and also Andrew Duncan. Those are probably the most dedicated comic book indie supporters I've seen, like through and through. They are hungry for comic books, and I don't want to talk ahead of myself, but I feel like they watch this show to look for new titles.
Whatever you're doing, that's great. Because I know everybody that comes on here, they have a great time with you. But if you're also getting people to support creators at the same time, we appreciate it. And to Haley and Brad and everybody else out there, we're doing this. We create these comics for you to enjoy. So I hope you enjoy them when you get it. You guys help me get one step closer, and I'm floored with the support there. So that's great. I appreciate it. So
I think you're looking pretty intimidating there, man.
So I got to ask you, because you always do the chat and draws for everybody else, but when are you going to have a chat and draw where somebody draws Hot Shot for you?
That's a great question. I was just thinking that the other day, because we're getting ready to launch the Hot Shot trade Kickstarter very soon. And I want to do a chat and draw episode for that. So I've got to find somebody to sit in the chair and draw for me while they interview me.
Well, I'm just saying, you have that 100 episode coming up. That could be a cool special. You get like 4 or 5 artists talking to you, drawing your character at the same time while you talk about it.
That is an idea right there, sir.
I am an idea man. I'm just throwing it out there. And if you want to say presented by Taurus Comics, since it was my idea.
Look at you connecting them dots. Look at you.
I'm just.
Danny J. Quick just claimed it.
Oh.
Danny J. Quick said he's going to do the interview.
I know. Danny's too quick.
Hey, I've got to get issue 10 out before I do that because Danny J. Quick needs to connect some more dots. I got to give him some more stuff to try to figure out.
Danny said it's only gonna be a chat though, because he can't draw. You know what, Danny? I've seen your work. You got something going on there too. Maybe it's not as detailed as Mike, but you can do something too.
Oh, this dude is. I say it every episode, but like drawing y'all's characters is a challenge, but it's like a challenge that I like, man. I really enjoy it.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Hey man, that means that you have a lot of great characters that you're being introduced to, which is fun for me because I get to see it. I get to be, watching you as you do this. But there's so many great indie characters just out there. I don't know why more indie creators aren't getting called up by some of the bigger characters, Marvel, DC, things like that, because honestly, most of the Marvel and DC stuff just doesn't interest me anymore. It just seems flat, and all the reboots they do with everything just is a little boring and tiresome. So call out some of these indie characters, call out a Gray, call out, yourself, call out Danny. Just reach out to these people and say, hey, what do you guys do with this? And what are you doing to get the excitement for your characters that we really aren't doing? And maybe I'm just speaking out my ass. I don't know, but I just feel like at least Marvel and DC there's no longer a house of ideas. It's just rehashing the same thing over and over. Then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. I just think just like because all these people know people, and it's like I think they're going to their friends and colleagues and stuff that they know before they really do out a call to arms or anything. And you know what? Honestly, they're probably digging through. They're probably digging through a bunch of submissions that they've already gotten beforehand. Like they're finding like, yeah, now it's time to go through these things and see what we got. And I'm sure people submitted tons of stuff to them. But Haley, yes, there will be Emerald Quest exclusive chat and draw when we drop those, as we announced on our indie draft that the first 3 issues are done.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, going back to what we were talking about with the indie creators, the only person I've seen get called up is Jordan Clark. I don't know if you are familiar with him, but he did an indie book where it was basically Superman having to deal with immigration issues and racism. Mm-hmm. And now Jordan is now writing for Aquaman.
Okay. Another one is Anthony Piper.
Okay, yeah.
Anthony Piper has been doing his stuff through oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of it. What's the name of his dang book where he makes fun of the Justice League? I'm so terrible. Danny J. Quick, what's the name of Anthony Piper's book? Either way, I know he'll answer.
Trilogy.
Right?
Yes.
He's been doing Trilogy for a long time, and that stuff, and he's been trying to submit it for animation and get picked up by networks or whatnot. He ended up getting the gig from Marvel, where he was writing for Marvel, he was coloring for Marvel, he was drawing for Marvel, and then he went back into working on Trilogy, and now Trilogy got picked up by Network and 50 Cent. Yeah, so now that's going to be an animated show.
Man, that's see, look, Danny, you're not quick on that. You just now answering. But yeah, Trilogy is actually a really good book, and I can see why he's getting up there. But I think
he's somebody that I watched grind, and work, and then move some places. And then there's just other creators who are moving and doing things in the indie scene.
Yeah, and the indie scene is so huge right now. I mean, there's so many creators doing so many different styles of books. It's not just superhero books. You have your horror books. You have your romance novels. You have, just your general thrillers. I mean, there's just a wide variety of what's considered indie now. Like I remember back in the day, indie was just your X-rated stuff that you didn't want your parents seeing that you got.
Right.
Or it was just some really bad thing that somebody made from a Xerox at Staples. So, I mean, where indies are going, it's going to be amazing in 5-10 years from now. I don't even know if we'll be able to call it indie anymore. It'll just be comics, and that's what it should be. We shouldn't have to say it's indie comics. It's just comics.
Well, that's a moniker that I've been training myself to just talk exclusively like that. I always had the feeling that while I love being an indie and I love all the indie community or whatnot, I feel like when it's used in the same sentence with mainstream comic books, it's seen as a negative connotation. It's seen as a negative statement off rip just because you're saying an indie book. And I always want to try not to be like a cocky person, but just always try to be in the mentality that I feel like my books are just as good as a mainstream comic book. You can put my books up there shoulder to shoulder with anybody's mainstream book.
Yep. And it's true because it's no longer what people look at as indie. I mean, like I was saying, everybody used to think indie comics were just these really crappy ash cans that you would pick up for $1 from somebody off the street. But indie comics the quality of most indie comics are just as good and if not better than some Marvel or DC stuff. The stories are just as good, if not better, than some Marvel or DC stuff. So we really need, as a community, to stop saying, "Oh, we're indie," and just say, "No, we're comic creators, just like anybody else. We just maybe don't get paid as much." And you know what? Let's be honest. Some of these indie creators are making as much as some Marvel creators. I mean, it's few and far between, but there are a couple of indie creators out there that are making a good amount of money, and probably make more than they would working for Marvel or DC.
Right.
Danny had updates. Okay, so updates on Danny want to know updates about my other projects. So Shaman's Destiny is my first series, which I did 6 issues, if you're not familiar with that, which I wrote and drew myself and colored and lettered. I did everything. and that is on a little bit of a hiatus, only because I don't know what to do with that character right now. I have so many ideas and so many directions. I just haven't been able to hammer down one specific direction for that. So Shaman's Destiny's on hiatus. My other characters would be Ruby from Planet Oz, which we did issue 1 this year. We released it, and so everybody seems to enjoy that. And I am still writing the next few issues. It's a 6-issue miniseries, Danny, and I have that all plotted out. But I don't know if I'm going to release each issue individually like I did for issue 1, or if I'll just do everything and release it all as one big trade. So I'm a little bit trying to figure out what's the best course of action on that one. And a lot of that, unfortunately, comes back because of the pandemic. That really threw off a lot of my plans. It just halted everything. Let's see. The other thing that I'm known for is Donner Lane, which was a book I thought of last year. And I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but Donner Lane was a thriller based off of the Christmas song Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer.
Really?
And it's everybody, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's actually a very dark and creepy song. If you just say it out loud, Grandma was drinking one night, she didn't take her medication, she steps outside and gets hit by the reindeer, and then Santa just drives off and no one knows what happened. So in my story of Donner Lane, that Grandma gets ran over, and the main character and his grandfather go on a hunt to hunt down Santa Claus, basically, and get their revenge for killing their grandmother. And it was a dark story that I came up with. I didn't write it. I actually had a colleague, his name is Joseph Dewis. He wrote it. And we had an amazing artist by name of Marcel, and I can't remember his last name right now. We tried to do a Kickstarter for that last year, right before Christmas, and unfortunately it didn't fund. But we're going to come back on that after Saw issue 3 gets created. Donner Lane's going to be the next thing that I do after Saw. Saw right now is my main focus on everything. And then I got a couple other projects that I'm working on, but they're a little bit more hush-hush. But I'm really excited about those ones that are actually haven't been told yet.
All right. Well, Danny J. Quick wanted to update, and I think you've given him more than enough to satisfy the terrorist organization known as Team Spoiler Alert.
Wow, terrorist organization. Those are strong words.
Hey, man, it's the life that we live in right now.
Okay. All right. So there's going to be civil war in short fuses?
No, it's all good fun. It's fun because Danny J. Quick can give as much as he gets.
He does, but he also has that bodyguard with Morgan there, so you got to be careful. Next thing you know, Morgan comes out and he's at your front door with his big axe, and then it's over.
Hey, I'm not messing with Lumberjack. I've heard the podcast. That dude has no chill.
That is a good podcast that they have. It inspired me, actually. I've been trying to get my little short story podcast going, and that is a lot harder than I thought it was. At least making a quality podcast, a quality story podcast. Like I have the first episode recorded, but I didn't like it, so I've been going back and trying to redo it and make it better. But that is a lot harder than I thought it was when I first started doing this. Oh
yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's funny because like I was all like, drawn, obviously making comic stuff. I was like, man, I could get out here and stream and do podcasts, and that's nothing, man. Then
you start and you're like, I need what equipment? I need to do what? Oh, okay.
Let me not disrespect this crap no more. All right, it's a lot of work. Of work.
And it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't realize. A lot of preparation work, a lot of, just getting the right sound and getting the right story. And it's a lot harder than I was honestly, it's a lot more work than I wanted to put into it. But I'm going to do it. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to try at least a couple episodes, hopefully soon. But yeah, shout out to Danny and to Morgan for doing, I think they're on season 3.
Yeah,
they're about to be on season 3.
They are on season 3. Danny J. Quick will give Morgan loads of credit for helping push that idea of that podcast on.
Yeah. And Morgan does a great job on that too. I mean, Danny's a great storyteller, but I come there for Morgan because Morgan does the voices, and he's got that intimidating voice in a way, and he has great stories. I give credits to both of them, but Morgan, and you got my props for doing that, man.
So let's talk about your journey on TikTok. I see you on there. I see you out here making your videos. What made you step into that arena?
Like every other 30 and 40-year-old, the quarantine. I was bored with watching people squabble on Facebook, and I was bored with watching people squabble on Twitter. And I was like, man, let me just see what's going on this TikTok that everybody's talking about. And my son, he's 17 and 16 when the quarantine started. And he was always showing me videos. He was like, Dad, look at this. And I was like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. This is cute and blah, blah. And I was like, I'm never going to do this. And then the quarantine happened and I was like, okay, let me just watch some videos. And next thing I knew, I'm like sitting there for half an hour just scrolling through videos, And then I was like, I got an idea. I'm going to do my first video. And one video led to another and led to another. And then I have like 3,000 fans now. Or I don't know if you want to call them fans, but 3,000 people following. So I don't know. I don't think it's something I'll probably be able to handle like Danny does, because he's got like a cult over there.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's just another creative outlet. And if you really dive into what some of these people are doing on TikTok, especially with the transitions and the special effects that they add on, it's actually really good.
It's crazy, man. It's freaking crazy. I'm up here like I'm trying to figure out how to edit my recorded drawing to music and trying to get it on beat somehow or whatnot. And they're doing all these edits, all these come ups, making the camera zoom in. And I'm like, you're doing that all with one hand.
Well, I think a lot of them are doing it on their computer though, and then they just upload it.
Hey, fool me. Because I know some phones have different options.
Yeah,
that other phones don't. I was 38 years old when I found out that iPhones have this little zoomer thing on their camera. So like when the phone zooms in and out, that's them doing that on their phone.
Oh yeah. Well, I have an Android. I can do it on mine too. It's just you have to push the icon, like the record icon, up. And it zooms it in, and then pull it down to zoom back out.
Man.
Yeah, I know. We sound old.
I know. Real TikTokers are like, get these old guys out of here, man.
And that's true. A bunch of young people be all like boomer and all that, and be like, I'm not that old. Let me enjoy it. Let me have some fun.
Yeah, so yeah, you got me doing those duets though. I saw you do a few. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, man. I'm about to try to mess around with these duets.
Yeah, just sometimes you get the wrong duet and people start thinking things, and I'm like, like I did a duet once with this other woman on it, and next thing I know, I got in trouble that somebody thought I was trying to cheat. I was like, no, I'm just trying to have fun,
It's a duet on TikTok, man.
It's just, but no, there's a couple. Like I've seen people do duets of like old Married with Children episodes. I was like, man, that brings me back just watching some of these things that people do, and then you got celebrities like Will Smith. That's just, he does some fantastic TikToks. I know it's not him; it's like his production company.
Yeah.
It's nice when you got money.
All the same though. He paid for it.
Yeah, he did. He got the money to do it. Him and Jada, they got the money. So,
excuse me.
Oh, sucked in too much air there.
Yeah, a little bit. Had a little hiccup.
Okay. So Haley said, I recommend the book. So you want to start a podcast? Okay, I will check that out because I've been listening to Danny and Morgan, and I have another acquaintance here in Sacramento that does a podcast for a living, and I've been listening to him. And actually, he was on the radio, and then his show got axed, and then he went to do a podcast, and now he got a job back on the radio. But he's starting up like this podcast empire where he's bringing in other people. And he's like, I told him my idea. Well, doing a short story. He's like, hey, if you can get it out there, let me hear it, and then maybe we can push you on my podcast platform.
That's what's up, man.
I was like, cool. And I was like, well, how many people do you have listening to your podcast? And he's like, I have as many people as I had listening to the radio, if not more, listening to my podcast. And I was like, okay, all right, that's a lot of people. I mean, I know radio isn't as big as it used to be, but that's still a lot of people.
The radio's still big, man.
It is,
as long as there's cars, radio is in business.
I don't know that, because even if you look at new cars nowadays, everybody's got Bluetooth headset connectivity and the aux jack option, and especially younger people, they don't want to listen to radio as much. They're plugging in their phone and listening to what's on Siri or Sirius XM or whatever. So radio's
everybody's not paying for that Sirius XM.
That's true.
Everybody's not paying for that Sirius XM.
But everybody's paying for that mobile data on their phone, and they can, upload YouTube onto their whatever. They can do Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So I think radio's got to find a way to keep people. Otherwise, it's going to die off within the next couple generations. I mean,
it's turned into a little mission here.
The teeth killing you?
Trying to, little bit, but I signed up for this.
Brad said he bought a green screen to mess around with on TikTok. You know what? I found actually, Brad, there is a website called Background. Oh God, what is it? Hold on, let me see. Let me find it again. Remove.bg. And it doesn't do videos, but you can upload a photo to this website called remove.bg, and it removes all the background in that photo and just leaves the character or the image there.
Really?
Yeah, and it's for free. And it does it directly through the website.
I'm gonna need that website. We'll take it down here.
And I was like, I've used it a couple times for art projects. So if you don't use that green screen, Brad, maybe use other options. I mean, I'm sorry you wasted the money so far. Didn't know. Haley says she called you okay boomer.
I know she did.
That's funny. Yeah. See, Morgan said the same thing. Radio is dying off. I told you. Kyrun, okay. All right. Danny, I am not independently wealthy. My wife and I just made smart decisions on our money when we were a little bit younger. So, and we didn't invest, but we just didn't waste our money on other things. So we have a lot of savings right now. Ooh, nice. That was a lot of black there.
That was a lot of black. We were not ready for that yet.
No. Mike is a master Photoshopper. He is. I've seen the work that Mike does. He is a master. He is a master of all things.
Hey, websites make time fly by, man. Especially, and Danny know what it's like wearing several different hats.
But I think that's cool with you guys in short views. Like you guys all have, like you said, more than one hat that you have to do. I mean, I know Sean's constantly promoting things like that, but it seems like everybody at Short Fuse has something to do along with creating comics. So that's cool.
Yeah, I love the team play on it. I've always been a big team guy. I love seeing other people, working together, coming together on an idea, team unification and stuff. Always been a fan of that stuff.
I was on a team when I first started comics, and it was fun. The only thing I dislike about teams is a lot of time ego gets in the way, and that messes things up. And when your egos step in and people aren't contributing like other people on the team, it makes that time that you're with that team not as enjoyable as it should be.
Right. Yeah, I've had a couple run-ins like that. Thank you, Danny. I had to share a table with other creators before, and some creators that had not been to a comic book convention before, and let's just say trying to get them all on the same page, because we all were under one label and we all had books, but to get them under to not like, I don't know, literally elbow you out the way to sell their book over you or whatnot, trying to get them to understand the idea. We need to have one pitch, you know, a 1 minute pitch that kind of just encapsulates all 5 books real quick to go through, or better yet, let the person come up and ask them what kind of comics are they into, or better yet, let them dictate it to you on what book that they go to, because all the books are at the table. So if they happen to pick up a book, then you know to come over there and approach that person and talk. Like, we can't all be out here like piranhas on each sale that comes out here.
That's true. And a lot of people, when they're starting off, they don't know those things, or they maybe forget like minor things like change and So that's actually really cool you brought that up, because I'm actually going to work with another comic creator here in Sacramento to do a separate podcast where we just talk about doing conventions and events. So if you're available when we start this up, maybe I'll reach out to you, because our goal with this other podcast is to just talk about not actually selling the story, but how do you sell the book, and the ins and outs of doing conventions. What you want, what do you bring, what do you look for at conventions when you go to sign up for one? What are some of your experiences at conventions? So if you're available, I'll reach out to you, and maybe you'll be on our show too.
Oh, let's go. I would love that. Yeah. I love convention talk, especially when we have not had conventions, man. I'm out here. Out here. Like, I need to talk about conventions.
We did our first episode about 2 weeks ago. And it's called Con Artists, because convention artists. So, but we did our first episode, and we called it No Con, because we haven't had any events all year. And we just talked about how the quarantine has affected our sales and our plans for the year, how we had to adjust on the fly, really, what to do for the rest of the year. So, listen, I'll send you the link later on, but maybe you can listen and see if you want to hop on board. I really don't know when we're going to do the issue or episode next, because he is a teacher here in Sacramento at the Sacramento State University. So his time right now is really taken with getting ready for school to start again, and he's doing the distance learning. But I'd love to have you. I'd love to have Russell, like Danny just said, Sean. I know a lot of people since I've been on Facebook that I want to bring on, and hope you guys can maybe just add something that hasn't been talked about before. Oh yeah,
I'm definitely down for it, man.
Good. Conventions kill comic production. You're right, Danny. Danny Weaver. 2 Dannys in chat. Conventions can kill your comic production, but if you plan it properly, you can get things done while you're at the convention to keep the production going. And that's definitely something we could talk about. It's all planning and making sure that you're doing the steps ahead of time to keep you on track. But that's something we could talk about as far as how do you work around the convention to ensure that you're keeping on your schedule.
Right. And if you're not, well, Haley, goodbye. I know you said you had to bang out, so just wanted to say goodbye to you if you missed
Haley.
My head be locked down in here on these drawings. But yeah, Danny, could you get a little bit more specific on what do you mean by conventions kill comic production? Can you get a little bit more specific? Nice. Oh, Russell's in the building. What's up?
And I've actually met Russell at a convention last year, and he's a lot taller than I thought he was going to be. Because I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'7". So when he stood up to shake my hand, I was like, okay, I can't look up that high. You're too tall for me, brother. Brother, bend down. I'm short. But no, Russell is a wealth of knowledge. I've reached out to him a few times, and he does have a great podcast, which he put there in the comments there. But yeah, Mr. Weaver, if you have any specifics, we'll gladly help answer them.
Yeah. And yes, Morgan, I have gotten a megaphone from time to time. Sometimes it's needed. Sometimes I've just had my voice. But whatever gets the job done, sir.
Now, has Short Fuse done any events on the West Coast before?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
I know Sean has come out to Ohio and partnered up with me on a couple things. Um, that was when he was in Detroit, though. He's in Georgia
He's in
now.
Georgia, right? Okay.
Yeah. So that wasn't that far of a drive. And I had a couple things set up where I have a really good relationship with GameStop, so I do their GameStop release parties. Oh, excuse me. We would go
Nice.
out to Victor has a really good relationship with the movie theater, so he would set up events for us at the movie theaters. So we were always having like these mini cons here down in Columbus, and just like taking our stuff wherever people would let us. And a lot of people would let us set up. Columbus is a big comic town.
Okay. Yeah, I want to say Sacramento is too. And we have a lot of creators that came out of Sacramento that people don't even know. Like Ron Lim is born and raised here in Sacramento.
Okay.
Which I've met him a few times, and he has such a nice family. It's weird how nice his family is. Sam Keith, who did the Max and Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine back in the day. Yeah, he's here in Sacramento. I mean, I don't know if you know Robert Love, but he did it's a Chocolate Thunder and 13 for Dark Horse. But he's out here in Sacramento. So I mean, there's a lot of creators here in Sacramento that people just don't realize how much of a creative community it is here. But the only reason I ask if you guys do any events on the West Coast is I still want to meet you guys. Everything's all internet based, but I would like to actually meet you guys, Sean, Danny, Morgan, everybody, and just say, so I can finally meet you guys for once. So if you guys are going to come out here, I mean, I'll have to make a trip to the East Coast at one point.
No, I definitely. My convention season was actually going really good, man. My convention season this year was fucking killing it. So the plan was to I was and when I say my convention season was killing it, not just financially, but my audience was growing and other shows were seeing me and I was getting invited out to shows. So I was trying to push forth that effort so I can get out to the West Coast. For me, that's a bigger venture. Travel, plane ticket, driving, because I've drove 12 hours before by myself. I'm not doing that shit again, never ever. And hotel where to stay and all this stuff, and then so I definitely want to come out there. I was making arrangements to have, because my dude from college stays out in Vegas. I got, family out in California. So I was trying to reach out and start making these arrangements. And the people that I was getting to know at combo conventions were coming from the West Coast, and I was building relationships with them so we can hit shows together. So it's definitely on my mind and table to get out to that side, because that's the middle of the country and the West Coast. And further down south is just areas I have not been able to hit. Those are people that don't know who I am, that don't have my book, and I'm trying to get them out there. I'm trying to infect those areas.
Well, you got to bring that up to the next Team Short Fuse meeting or something, man.
Yeah, we're trying to definitely work it out. So, oh shoot, there we go. Some of this stuff, man, I hold my breath like a sniper.
Well, you are killing it, so that makes sense.
Let's see here. What else we got here? Okay, I didn't realize to see it, and that's another thing. I don't even be realizing what time it is when we go on this thing. I'm almost done though.
Okay. With this doesn't get a limit as far as StreamYard, right? Because I know with Zoom you got the 45 minutes or hour, whatever it is.
No, I got the little streamer pack. I pay monthly for it. So yeah, once you get monthly, it's I think it's up to something ridiculous, 4 hours or something like that. I gotta check, but
Danny Quick, your boy here is independently wealthy. He can afford the streamer pack. I didn't even know that was.
No, sir. Actually, my streamer pack pays for my chat and draw pays for my streamer pack. Okay. As I've learned from Sean Mack, everything has a number, everything has a budget, and you got to figure out how to make those things work. It's an expense. So chat and draw, getting people signed up for it, that expense automatically gets covered by one episode. 1 month gets covered by one episode of chat and draw.
Very nice, man. Well, I'm glad I can support that and get you this extra month here. All right,
I appreciate it.
Danny Weaver said, time at the table, titles waiting years between, times 4 issues, chapter bursts, the creators post con after con, having fun and mixing, but never anything about book updates. Not about the artist, more writer, publisher, small press. So I get that. I mean, that's more sounds of that creator not being responsible.
Yeah.
More than anything. No, because and that's true. Because if you're seeing a creator and they're constantly going, I'm doing this con, and you're waiting on the book from them, which I'm assuming is Kickstarter wise, what they're probably doing is they're probably using that money to do events and probably not producing your book, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. So in a way, I know what you're talking about, Danny, but in a way, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. We give updates on our books. We've got about 20 titles, a little bit over 20 titles out right now. We just give a big update on Short Fuse draft day on all the titles. Well, not all the titles, but some stuff because we wanted to save it. We didn't want to reveal it all at once. For me, comic book conventions are straight promotional areas, baby. I'm going there to get new fans. I'm getting there to market myself to those conventions so they invite me back out. I'm using that promo and all that attention that we get on at the show for my social media. I'm selling books. I'm trying to make that convention a convention I come back to so people can get the next book. My goal, it's great if somebody comes to my table and buys all the comic books, but that's not my goal. My goal is to make sure that somebody walks away from the table with at least one comic book. And once I got them on that one comic book, that means that's a title that fits them. And each one of my titles, I got multiple issues of. So
you're trying to get that repeat customer going.
So yeah, it a lot of that is dependent on the creator that you're dealing with. So I don't think it sounds like you're messing with any Short Fuse people.
Hey, you're not messing from Taurus Comics because all my books are out there and I try to keep everybody updated. I might not always get the delivery date that I put out there, but you'll find out why I'm late with updates, and I try to update as much as possible. And like for me, I'm sort of the opposite when it comes to how I look at conventions than what Mike is, because for me, conventions are my primary source of income. Even though I'll do a Kickstarter, that Kickstarter is just to pay the artists and creators and print those books out. Once I get those books and I ship them out to you, I ship out my books first to anybody that backed a Kickstarter. And once I get those out to everybody that's backed it, then I will actually start putting it on my website and start selling it at conventions. But I don't sell it until I know that people that back my Kickstarters actually have the books in their hand first. That's just my personal goal. That's my personal thing. But when I go to conventions, a little bit what Mike said, I'm there to talk to people, meet new people, tell them about my books, but I'm there to sell as many books as I can because that's where I get most of my money. This is my full-time job. And, it'd be great to come home and one day tell my wife, say, hey, you can quit your job. And I'm hoping someday that'll be soon, but it's just a step at a time. But as far as Danny, what you were talking about, yeah, that just sounds like, unfortunately, you're just dealing with some people that aren't being responsible with their time and their money.
I won't, Morgan. I won't. But yeah, I gotta agree with Kyrun on that, man. Because I mean, a lot of people that I deal with, that I work with in indies, is like that. Like, we're using conventions to sell our books. We're updating people on what books are out there. We're using Kickstarters and conventions. I've used conventions to premiere books. I'll say at like my Detroit Motor City, I would have exclusive covers of my books just for that show or whatnot. So yeah, it's all about producing, man. Producing as much as you can. That's viable. That's feasible, rather. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Daniel wanted to know what did he miss?
A great conversation.
You missed a lot, Daniel. You missed my Kickstarter increasing. You missed Mike and I talking and goofing off. You missed a lot of information in the comments. I don't know what else to say. Daniel, you missed a lot, but we're glad to have you here if you're still here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here, Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. Daniel, that's another successful Kickstarter guy right there, Daniel Caliban.
American Dreams, right?
American Dreams.
I have issue 1 of that. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think I'm gonna need a bigger brush right here.
was watching. Ooh, he was watching Lovecraft Country. I still need to watch episode 2 and 3 of Lovecraft Country.
Oh my god, dude! Lovecraft
I
Country is not for the faint of heart.
well, see, my problem is I have kids and I can't be watching in front of them, so I have to wait until it's late or I'm by myself. And I'm just so old now. 9 o'clock hits and I'm tired and ready to go. You know?
I feel that. I feel that.
You know, it's like those jokes you see about the couple tucking in the kid because they want to get intimate, and then a minute later they were asleep. That's me right now. So, but no, I got to watch Lovecraft Country. My DVR and my Netflix queue is caught up. I mean, it's so big. I just don't have time right now to watch everything because I'm trying to produce. I'm trying to make comics.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you're almost done, aren't you?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost there. I'm about to switch my pen back.
Oh, Daniel, you did miss though that Mike said he's going to get a bunch of artists to draw a hot shot for his 100th episode. While we talk to him and he tells us about hot shot, and he said he's going to get me and Danny and I don't know, Danny Quick, I should say, to draw hot shot. And yeah, that's also what you missed. Oh, you're adding color too. I feel special. You're adding color.
Well, I don't feel like this dude's appropriate without.
Oh, fire and eyes there. Okay, you're going all out. I appreciate that though. That looks very sick.
Well, there she is.
That looks great. I am so glad I got to come on here and watch this because that was masterful. And time lapsed. All right.
Time lapse replay of that bad boy, man. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at.
Well, you can find me at tauruscomics.com. I'm also on Facebook at facebook.com/tauruscomics. Instagram and Twitter is at tauruscomics. Email me tauruscomics@gmail.com. My phone number is 916-555-4555. I don't know what else you want me to say there.
I think that covers it, man. If that's where you want people to get in touch with you. I want to thank you for coming on the show and giving me the opportunity to dance with this character. Danny says, do you have a website or back issues upcoming?
The website, like I mentioned, is tauruscomics.com. You can get physical copies of my Shaman's Destiny series and Ruby from Planet Oz and Xob the Lightning Wielder. You can get physical and digital copies through my website.
Awesome. And let everybody know who this character is again.
This is Lord Eklips. He is the main villain to the first arc of the Xob the Lightning Wielder series. Issue 1 through 3 is available right now at the Kickstarter that Mike put in the chat.
Yes, I did just upload your Kickstarter link. So here's my thing with Kickstarters, everybody. I know times are hard and things are slow for a lot of people or whatnot, and you may not necessarily have any money to donate to the Kickstarter. Well, even $1 helps. Even if you donate $1, because if he got 1 million people to donate $1 each, that's $1 million. So $1 does help. And if you can't do that, that's okay. Share his Kickstarter. Advocate for the Kickstarter. Just share it on your network, because the best type of promo that we could get is you telling other people to check out the book that he has going on. He's got 3 issues going on right now of a great title. I'm looking forward to getting my copies of my books from the Pledge or whatnot and seeing what this character does in this issue. And I know he says it's going to break a lot of people's hearts for our Saw fans here. That's why I got that hand in close perspective with that blood leeching off of his hands, because he did something, man. He did something. I don't know what happens in the book yet. It ain't out. So I can only guess.
You're actually right on point there. So, no, there's going to be a couple deaths in issue 3.
My goodness.
And I'm not the person that once you kill somebody, you can bring them back. There's no Lazarus pit. There's no special revive potion. Once they're dead, they're dead. So you're pretty on point on that. Oh, the blur and everything.
Yeah. I just realized we need to put that blur there and just focus on it a bit.
Nice. That's a nice touch.
Thank you, sir. This is a fun piece, man. I appreciate you bringing him on here. So I want to thank you for coming on. Everybody, please go check him out. Check out his Kickstarter. The link is in there. And if you are watching here on the social medias of Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, give me a subscription. Give me a follow. I make it real easy. Bam. All of my social media, you can find me as Most Epic Art on Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. Go ahead and look that up. Give me a follow, give me a like, give me a share, or dog me. I don't care. Because guess what? All attention on social media is good attention because you're going to get somebody else asking, why you dogging that guy? And I'm going to say, he don't know what he's talking about. She don't know what they're talking about. Come holler at your boy. But the Chat and Draw shows are super fun. If you're a creator, if you've got a comic book or a character or a Kickstarter that you want to promote, come on to the show. As you can see, we showcase you, your character, or whatnot. If you're a fan and you just want to get a fan piece done, that's great too. Join my Patreon page. And then you can get on there because Andrew Duggan will be on here next month for our official first Patreon fan page or whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and leave y'all with that. I will upload this to Google Drive so you can get the link, and then this is your piece to do what you want, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It looks great.
No problem. Everybody else, thank you, and we will see you Thursday. Yes, Thursday. I have Christy Shin joining me, and my villain streak continues this season. As we're in episode 2. That's episode 3. I'm drawing another villain, and she's a demon. So that's 3 for 3. And Danny J. Quick might be right. This might be the season of villains. Because we're doing 3 of them next. So I'll see you guys on Thursday at 7 p.m. Have a good night, everybody.